Hi, TR here. This video is about the assignment pathways exploration. I'm going to break it down into three parts. First part I'm going to talk about the content page, which is what you can see right now. Secondly, I'll walk through my blueprint. And then third, I will look at share with you the template. So let's start. Module 4, Career Exploration, Assignment Career Portfolio Pathways Exploration. So instructions, you're going to log into my blueprint. You're going to see this login page. You'll click on the green login button. Then you're going to go to post-secondary and you'll see three things. I don't know how clear this is for you here, but it's apprenticeship, college, university, and workplace. Part 3 is talking about the filters. So there's two ways you can find pathways. One is to type in an apprenticeship possibility, and the other is to use these filters, and I will talk more about them when we get to my blueprint section. And then a comparison of two programs. I will show you how to do that when we get into my blueprint. Here is the link for the template, and I will be sharing with you this template after we talk about my blueprint. So my blueprint will look like this. This is your account. It should look like this, right? Go to post-secondary, and let's click on apprenticeship. Now, the idea of this assignment is for you to find pathways in different scenarios or possibilities. So two different pathways that fit under the apprenticeship, two different pathways that fit under college, university, and two different pathways that fit under workplace. Now, the question is, do you have to do all three? Yes, you do. We want you to expand your horizons. We want you to expand your thought process and look at different possibilities for pathways that you can have in the future. So in the apprenticeship, we can either key in here. Say I'm going to key in electrician, right? And we'll hit search. But before we do that, I'm going to talk about the second option, which is using filters. Now, you should all see a high school plan, your high school plan, underneath high school plan here. And the industry sectors that will appear will depend on your high school plan, the courses you've taken, or the courses that you will take. To find a possible pathway career, you would click on construction, and that would open up a number of choices for you. Red Seal, all Red Seal determines is if you click yes here, that means that any pathway that you choose, an apprenticeship pathway, will be viable in all provinces in Canada. No means it's only for Alberta. And program length might be a determining factor in the type of apprenticeship you want to do. So this would also be a filter. So your filters could be your high school plan, one of the industry sectors, the Red Seal, the program length, and that would show up over here as a filter. Anyways, I've decided we're going to take a look at the electrician and for the possible pathways that we can find there. And I hit search. When we hit search, we get 4 results. Here's electrician, very faint. You'll see 3 dots. Click on those 3 dots. Click on compare. And I'm going to do communication technician. You can see the 3 dots a little clearer in this one. Click on the 3 dots. Click on compare. And then do compare. Now what you see is these 2 pathways and the information that they provide. You will use this information in your template, and the template is set up for you, and I can't strongly suggest enough that you use the template with this assignment. So this is one pathway apprenticeship. Let's take a look at college and university. 4 pathways. Now, again, there's 2 ways you can do it. You can type the program name, or you can do it through filtering. Filtering means, say, if you want to do education, well, you could start with your high school plan. You can click education. That will show you or show up as a filter, right? And then you can do province, and that will show up as another filter. But today, let's do education. Let's do that filter. And let's do Alberta. And we've used these filters to find a field, career, education, and we want it in Alberta. So let's take a look at what we can see here. We can see University of Alberta Elementary. Okay, let's click on that. Let's do a compare. Mount Royal Bachelor Education Elementary. Okay, let's click on that. Let's do a compare. And then we do the button to compare. And here you can compare the two programs, the costs, what program details, expenses. Excellent. The college university is probably the strongest of the three. Please note that if you cannot find the information for your template, then you will need to use information outside of your template in order to complete this. And the third is workplace. And here, again, you can type a workplace name or a keyword, or we can use a filter. So let's do the arts, culture, and recreation, and you get 19 results based on the high school plan that you created, or I created rather, in CB Learn 2. So actor, I'm going to pick actor. You see the 3 dots. Click compare. And artist, you see the 3 dots. Click compare. And then you click compare at the top of the page. And now you can see these 2 possibilities, these 2 pathways, and the information that they provide. All right. Now, again, if you don't get enough information from here, then you will need to do additional work and make an additional effort to get what you need to get. Okay. Now, I've talked about the content page. I've talked about my blueprint. Now I'm going to talk about the template. This is your template. It talks about selecting post-secondary from navigation menu. It talks about does not provide all the information. So if my blueprint does not provide all the information, you need to go to the specific institution you're planning on attending to locate that information. And then be sure you complete the reflection. Please note, you will need to build out a full plan for grades 10 to 12 in order to see the pathway opportunities available in my blueprint. If you have not completed coursework, you can project what courses you will be taking in the future. So, as we saw in my blueprint, I picked 2 apprenticeship choices. You pick your apprenticeship choices. You're picking 2, and you want to be comparing the 2. You want to talk about it in terms of length of program, in-class hours, employment requirements, and that can mean like what kind of courses you've taken, or what kind of graduation certificate you have. Minimum entry will be something typically about marks, job titles, and here, with detail. The more detail you provide, the more depth you give. The more you personalize, the better mark you'll receive. Scrolling down to college and university, Program 1, Program 2, and I did that with education at the different institutions. You need to look at or talk about length of program, tuition cost, other fees, admission requirements, minimum average. So admission requirements typically are courses that you need to take, and the minimum average will be the grade percentage you get. Is it co-op or part-time? With detail. explain. Again, the more detail you provide, the more information you provide, the better mark you will receive, and the more engaged you are, it's just better for you. Scrolling down to workplace, here I talked about an actor and an artist, main duties, required education training, salary, employment prospects, and then with detail. Now, if you cannot find this information in my blueprint, then you need to do a search, whether you use Google or whatever search engine you wish. You must find that information and or email the institution or the work opportunity. We say use Google to continue your search if enough information was not provided. And we do want you to bold any information you use from my blueprint. Scrolling down, this is where the bulk of your mark will be determined. Answer the questions below as clearly and concisely as you can with as much detail and personalization as you can put into this. And just read and fill. Read and fill. Detail and personalization. So that's the template. And then we move to the rubric. This is the rubric. This is what it looks like. These are the outcomes that we're after. This is the best place to look at what you need to do. So each aspect is outlined on the template, has been explained, and there's a basic connection to personal interests and experiences. Basic information has been gathered from my blueprint and recorded on template. Pathway choices, apprenticeship, workplace, and college, university are recorded with basic information. So if you give a sentence or two, and those sentences or two need to be pretty good, then you will get a basic achievement, a 2. As you move left on the grid here, the more detail and the more personal you make it, the more information you provide, the better mark you will receive. Now, if you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to let me know. I'll do my best to help you. I've also discussed this assignment in my blueprint, in the live session last night, and you will find this video in the announcements. Excellent places for you to go and work on the assignment. Thank you. Take care. Stay healthy, and we'll chat again.